name's Heather Spurlino and I'm with HydraTech Engineered Products. And today we're going to have a presentation on HydraTite, the internal joint seal, which is the seal that seals from the inside out. So at HydraTech, we don't believe in being wasteful. We feel it's irresponsible to pass problems along when it's possible to solve them right the first time. That's why we've developed a collection of products to reduce waste, involve less downtime, and use quality materials tailored perfectly for each project. So today we're going to talk about the HydraTite seal. So let's go over our agenda quickly. So first we're going to talk about what problem does the HydraTite internal joint seal solve? And what is the internal joint seal? We're going to then show a quick video on the installation, followed up by a slide that just hits the highlights. We're going to go over some examples, talk about some customized solutions, and then talk about a quick summary. So, problems. What does the HydraTite internal joint seal solve? First of all, offset joints and infiltration. Those typically come hand in hand. So when you have infiltration, you're washing soil and water from outside the surface into your piping system, which creates a problem. And then that can lead to sinkholes. And sinkholes are a problem for many municipalities, many state DOTs, and many systems. So that's a problem. Those are problems the HydraTite internal joint seal can solve. Also, exfiltration. The upper right-hand slide shows exfiltration. You can see examples of infiltration by the 4 slides depicted in the slide as well. So what is the internal joint seal? Let's discuss this before we move forward. The internal joint seal is a mechanical seal that has been utilized in trenchless remediation for decades. It is mechanical only. You would need to have structural pipe, solid pipe, in order to use this type of remediation. It has been around for years. It was originally designed and manufactured in Europe about 60 years ago. It was brought to the United States in the late 80s. Early 80s. So, with that being said, it has been around for a while and it is proven technology. So what does the internal joint seal consist of? So the internal joint seal is comprised of EPDM rubber and stainless steel. The EPDM rubber is available in 3 widths. You have standard wide, extra wide, and double wide. And that will be discussed in the next slide. It also has a rib design or grooves. And those ribs tips are concave. And what that allows for is it allows for compression when the bands are compressed to the seal. And that allows for the seal to have a better connection to the hose pipe. Test valves are also optional if you would like to have that included with your order. Also, retaining bands come in the stainless steel retaining bands are 304 or 316 stainless steel, and they come in 1 piece or multiple piece and are flexible for installation. As mentioned on the previous slide, we would discuss seal sizes. So the standard wide is 11 inches with a joint span of 5 3/4. That means that joint span would go over your joint or your point of area where you would need a point repair. Your extra wide is 14 inches with a 9-inch joint span, which again would go over your joint or area of point repair. And your double wide is 21 inches with a joint span of 16 inches. So what size range can HydraTech accommodate? We can actually do 18 inches up to 24 feet. And the slide on the right shows you a 24-foot project that we just completed this past spring in Canada. And as you can see by all the scaffolding, what an amazing project that ended up being. So some advantages of the internal joint seal: it is trenchless. So that means everything is done man entry inside the pipe. So that means no digging, no cutting, no restoration of grass, concrete, or asphalt. Everything again is done inside the pipe. It is customizable. Everything is done here at our facility, manufactured at our facility here in Cincinnati, Ohio. So any size, shape, transition can be accommodated for. And it's nice that everything is also USA materials. There's no hot work involved because everything again is manufactured here in Cincinnati, Ohio. All the cutting and welding is done in-house. And then when the crews get the final product, all they have to do is install using an expander, a pump, and basic hand tools. It does have a 50-year design life and service life, so it is a proven technology for 50 years. It is approved by many state DOTs, and that list will be provided later on in the slideshow. So when do we use HydraTite internal joint seal? This is a list of the different types of pipe that the HydraTite internal joint seal can be used on. We have pre-stressed concrete, reinforced concrete, ductile iron, cast iron, and a variety of other pipe types. It can also be used on storm piping, potable water, sewer pipe, storm culverts, and various other types as well. So some advantages of the internal joint seal: it is rapid remediation. It's very quick. If you had 60-inch pipe, you would have a 3-man crew, one typically for confined space matters. With clean pipe and easy access, a crew could easily install 8 to 10 joints in a day. It is proven technology. Again, it's been around for over 60 years. It is NSF ANSI 61 certified, and it is mechanical remediation. So to compare this to alternatives, you would use the joint repair when you have good pipe and bad joints because it does cost less. You would line when your entire pipe is bad because it costs more and it's more time consuming. Joint repair can also be used as a sectional repair, and it's very time efficient. Also, comparing to chemical grout, chemical grout is not a long-term repair method. It typically lasts 3 to 5 years, and it does cost more per service year. Another thing people don't know about chemical grout is it's not 100% watertight. Now, with the internal joint seal, it does have a 50-year repair method. It is a long-term repair method, and it costs less per service year. And not to mention, it's also watertight. So an example, comparing the internal joint seal 60-inch piece of pipe to chemical grout, these statistics are from 2020. If you have a service life of 5 years for your chemical grout with a $648 initial cost, that's $129 cost per service year. Comparing that to the internal joint seal that has a service life of 50 years, you have a $1,500 initial cost, which is $30 cost per service year. So with that being said, the grout would have to be replaced every 5 years for 10 years, leaving it a cost of $6,480 compared to your $1,500 initial cost for your internal joint seal. So you can see how much more expensive chemical grout would end up being, and not to mention it's not watertight like the internal joint seal. So let's talk about installation next. Installation requires 2 to 3 people mostly because it's confined space, 60-inch or less, and an expander, which you can see the expander there on the left-hand side of the screen. And it requires basic hand tools that you can buy from Lowe's or Home Depot. So now I'm going to show you a video that talks about installation.
HydraTite is an internal joint sealing system that offers customized mechanical remediation without expensive excavation. The HydraTite system offers a flexible mechanical trenchless repair with immediate return to service, minimum prep work, rapid installation with no hot work, and a design life of up to 50 years. With over 30,000 HydraTite seals in service, this technology offers a proven solution to the water, gas, sanitary, and power industries. The HydraTite system is a recognized method of joint repair by the AWWA M28. The HydraTite system consists of an EPDM rubber seal, stainless steel retaining bands, and an optional test valve. The rubber seal is manufactured in one piece to match the internal diameter of the pipe. This system can be utilized in pipe diameters ranging from 18 to 218 inches. The seal is available in 3 different widths to accommodate a variety of joint dimensions: the standard 11-inch, the extra wide 14.5 inch, and the double wide 21.5 inch. HydraTite utilizes a rib design to ensure a watertight seal in the pipe. The EPDM seal incorporates groove channels to ensure proper seating of the retaining bands. Retaining bands are provided in one piece for small diameter pipes and multiple pieces to accommodate tight entries into large diameter pipes. The retaining bands are positioned on the seal, then expanded to compress the seal against the pipe walls. A wedge system is used to lock the retaining bands in place. This wedge lock system provides the greatest degree of flexibility while retaining the lowest possible profile. As an option, the HydraTite seal is equipped with a stainless steel test valve to allow the installed seal to be tested for leaks before the pipe is put into service. Since installation is typically in pipes, installation equipment and procedures follow OSHA requirements for confined space entry. Tools required for installation include the necessary tools needed for surface preparation, pipe lubricant, hydraulic expander, and an air test kit for seal testing, if applicable. The HydraTite seal is manufactured and installed in 8 steps. The first step is to evaluate the pipe and operating conditions. Ask the following questions. What is the inside dimension of the pipe? What process fluid is flowing through the pipe? Is it a pressurized pipe or a gravity pipe? What is the gap in the joints or area of the joint repair? What is the surface of the pipe? Is there a significant offset in the pipe joint, and what type of access is required? This step enables the seal to be manufactured correctly. It defines the diameter of the seal, width of the seal, amount of bands required, material of the system, type of surface preparation required, and if the seal requires more than one-piece bands. The second step, once the HydraTite is manufactured, is to prepare the surface. The surface area where the joint is to be installed should be cleaned to ensure any loose debris, scale, or corrosion products are removed. The intent of the cleaning is to have a smooth, stable surface so the rubber will provide a good seal. The third step, once the seal assembly has been loaded, is lubrication. The HydraTite seal, in many cases, needs to be lubricated on its sealing surface to assist in adjusting the rubber at the joint. Make sure the seal is parallel to the joint. The fourth step is to install the retaining bands in the grooves of the rubber seal. The fifth step is to expand the bands. The bands have 4 main areas: the push tab, the ear, the shim, and the wedges. The expansion tool expands the push tabs and the ear, making the retaining band's diameter larger and compressing the rubber. The shim is installed between the band and the rubber before expansion so the wedge can be installed. The expansion process is determined by the pump's pressure, which is limited by the HydraTite procedure. This pressure is dictated by the thickness of the bands and diameter of the pipe. The sixth step is wedge installation. The wedge is installed at the gap provided by the expansion process. The size of the opening is measured and the appropriate wedge is selected. The wedge is then inserted into the space provided. Wedge insertion is generally performed by a brick hammer. The size of the wedge should be slightly more than the opening available. After the wedge is installed, the expander is removed. The seventh step is to expand the bands after 30 minutes, because the rubber may flow or creep, causing the bands to relax. If after re-expansion the gap size has increased for the wedge, a larger wedge must be installed. Remove the small test plug fitting, located in the test valve, and insert the threaded connector and hose attached to an air supply. Pressurize the back of the seal to 5 psi. The seal should expand outward or balloon. If there is a large opening in the joint, it may not be possible to back pressure the joint. While the seal is pressurized, use a solution of soapy water to spray around the edges of the seal to detect any leakage. On the rare occasion leakage is detected, determine the cause and fix the situation, which may include additional surface preparation and re-expansion of the seal. Remove the test hose, depressurize the seal, and replace the test valve fitting. Multi-piece bands are utilized in larger seals and for seals that have pipe access limitations. Unlike a one-piece band, the multi-piece bands consist of ears that are slotted and fastened with 2 bolts. Multi-piece bands provide for more expansion points and flexibility in the expansion process. This process can be used to stretch the rubber where 2 pipes have a different diameter. Examples include concrete to steel joints and cured-in-place liner end seals. Additional bands can be used to provide reinforcement in the center due to head pressure. The backing plates can be utilized in pressure pipe situations to provide a structural backing without the seal backing being extruded through a void. The HydraTite seal is also used as an internal slip joint to allow movement and replace expansion joints in cooling water systems. The seals can be interlocked to span long lengths of pipe. This interlocking technology allows the seal to span over longer lengths of defects in a pipe. The HydraTite seal can be used in unique shapes, such as in elliptical piping, as well as box seals. This flexibility makes HydraTite an economical solution. When it comes to sealing almost any size or type of pipe, HydraTite is economical, effective, and dependable. Call us today.
So that video shows you the installation process. This screen is just a quick review of the video. So the first thing we do, as we learned, we have to prep the joint, which is quick and easy, just requires a little hand broom or wire brush to make sure the joint is clean. Then we position the seal. After the seal is positioned, we install the retaining bands. And again, as we learned, those are 1-piece or 2-piece, depending on pipe size and access to the pipe. Then we use the expander and we expand the bands to a certain PSI, which is based on the pipe specifications. And then we install the wedges after the bands are expanded. And then after that, we do a pressure test, check for leaks, and the HydraTite seal has been completed and installed. So we're going to go over some examples right now. These are the DOTs that have used or approved HydraTite. As you can see, it's a variety anywhere from Ohio to California. And we've worked in many of these states. So we'll go over some different pictures of before and after shots from some of these various DOTs. Here's an Ohio DOT project. As you can see, the first slide on the left shows joints that need to be repaired. They have voids in them. And the slide on the right shows the seal that has been installed with the crew currently in the pipe working on an installation. The bottom left side shows seals that are installed. It looks like a short sleeve. And then the picture on the bottom right shows an up-close picture of a seal installed. Here's Michigan's Department of Transportation. You can see a before shot on the left-hand side, on the bottom left, you can see a leaking joint. This project was done under I-94 on Michigan's highway system. It was 114 72-inch seals that were completed in 3 weeks. This is a nuclear power plant in California, and what this consisted of was doing a repair. It's a 48-inch line that was recirculating. We did the repair with utilizing a backing plate as well. You can see the joint on the left-hand side of before and on the right-hand side after. So that shows you what that project looks like. Here's the water irrigation line. This was also in California. You can see before, this was 13 feet. We did 2 of these seals on reinforced concrete pipe. You can see the magnitude, the scaffolding that was used. On the bottom picture, it shows you exactly where the joint was. So now we're going to move on to some customized solutions. Stainless steel backing plates are often used on pressurized pipelines. You have your expansion joint, and so the backing plate is put in behind the HydraTite seal to accommodate when that expansion joint compresses and releases. So that's essentially what the backing plate's for. You typically use 3 bands to hold that backing plate in place, and then as it expands and contracts, that allows that EPDM HydraTite seal to expand and move with the expansion joint. Another customized solution are unusual shapes. We can do box culverts. Also, you see an unusual shape up there on the right-hand side of the screen. We can do elliptical. We've also worked with diving companies so we can install different shapes and box seals and items of that nature underwater. So we're able to do all of those different things since we do manufacture everything at our facility here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Another customized solution is called sleeving. That was mentioned earlier, when you take several seals and they can be interlocked together and create a sleeve. It's nice for when you have a point repair and you don't want to go into full length lining. So you can take a sleeve and it can go on in length as long as you need to fix that point repair. So in summary, we've learned that when the pipe is structurally sound but has damaged joints or has an area where you need a point repair, the HydraTite internal joint seal is the way to go. We've also learned that it's a trenchless method of repair. It requires no hot work and it is quick remediation. It's extremely cost effective. It has been around for many, many years, and it does have a 50-year service life. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining me today. Thank you very much, and have a good day.